What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Patreon. It is 3:14 p.m. here on the East Coast in the USA. It is January 14th of 2019. So interesting price action, obviously. A little bit of a bounce off the 3,500 area. I had a pretty funny experience this morning. People already messaging me, had some comments. People private messaging me saying, Kevin, you were wrong. Look, we bounced off of 3,500. We're ready to go to the moon, basically. This is what people are telling me right now. And it's funny, guys, this isn't really important for me to cover, but I'm just going to tell you now, like, all year long, right? I was here saying we were in a bubble, talking about 2,500 showing up in this area, right? Every time we had a bounce, right? I was wrong, Kevin, you're wrong. We're going to the moon, right? Every single bounce, I was an idiot, right? And now, same thing is happening in this area, right? I remember when I was calling for a lower high here, right? Praise came up, right? And I was basically saying right here, look, we're confirming the lower high. We had a false breakout. On the false breakout, people were like, Kevin, you're wrong. Look, we're breaking out. We had a false breakout. Right now, the price is bouncing up a little bit. Kevin, you're wrong, right? It's just these little micro movements somehow convince people that my prediction is wrong. I mean, my prediction could be wrong. It could actually end up being wrong. But the one thing that this does validate is that 3,500 is a very significant support level. The bounce off of this area shows that 3,500 is, in fact, a very important and very significant level for the price to hold. I still do think we're going to break below 3,500, but for now, we're getting a bounce. Not much volume there, guys, right? Not too much volume. Let's go check out Coinbase to confirm, at least on one other exchange, to see if this volume is, in fact, not that great. And yes, we're seeing here as well, nothing above average. Pretty low volume here. Not much of a bounce. Pretty weak, in my opinion. Again, people freaking out over every little move. But if you hop in here, guys, let's check out that 4-hour hop in here, right? If you take, just your average trend line and you look at this high, horizontally draw that. I mean, look, guys, we're kind of just still in the zone, right? We're getting rejected off of the same level that we got rejected off before right here, right? Everyone's calling this a pump, but we're not really. We're just kind of, yeah, we're above this consolidation area. We dropped lower, bounced up, retesting this resistance. So we'll see what happens here, guys. I mean, we could continue to bounce out, right? I've been talking about how, we could play in this range for a bit, right? We'll see. But, the bounce off the 3,500 level confirms for me that it is a significant support zone to be looking for. And again, I do believe that if we break below 3,500, we indeed, what I believe, my prediction is that if we fall below 3,500, we will see lower prices in this market. But for now, we're still above it. Right now, I have a position at 3,600, position at 3,700. So those two positions are kind of at a break-even point. My 4,250 position is down. So, the market's, whatever, right? I'm comfortable with what I have. I don't really care about buying anything at this area. Yesterday, I forgot to mention, if you guys remember yesterday, I was talking about how I would be going in with 25% at 2,500. If the price does reach this area, and I do go in with 25%, the reason why I'm only going in with 25% there is because there is a chance if we hit 2,500, we could go lower. But I think there's even more of a chance that if the price comes down to 2,500, we would bounce off the area and most likely retest to confirm that area. And during the retest, right, 1 touch, 2 touch, most likely we'll see, is what I think it would happen. If we hit 2,500, I would assume that we would come back to retest the area, or at least near the area, right? If we hit 2,500, I would assume, again, this is all just speculation, but I would assume that if we hit 2,500, we would bounce. And maybe we don't actually go this low again, but we hit this area, we retest to confirm some sort of support. I would be going in with another 25% right there. So I have 35% here at this level, 35% here. If I can draw, looks terrible. 35%. I would want 25% here. I know this looks horrible. Another 25% here, right? So that would put me in at 85% total, right? This is essentially what I'm assuming the market's going to do. Something like this. Still, guys, I'm still expecting this, right? So I would be in at 35% here, 25% during the retest. We go for another 25%. you know, this might take longer. It might be a longer phase. That's just an illustration, not how exactly how I think it's going to play out. But I would like to have 50% at where I believe, you know, my price target is 2,500. I would like to have 50% in the area. Of course, there's always a chance that we go lower, right? There's always a chance that we fall even lower. And I would just go in with the rest down there. And if we go lower than that, you know, I'll have to find some other money to put in the market. But I am extremely doubtful that this is going to take, that we would go to $1,000. Extremely doubtful, guys. But at that point, I would just be going all in, right, at that level. And I would be taking the risk that Bitcoin, you know, has an even longer term sustained bear market. But you know what, guys? That's the risk we're taking here, right? It's a huge risk. Going into crypto right now is a massive risk, and you should only invest money that you are willing to lose, right? So I'm looking to have 50% at the 2,500 area, but not doing it all at once, right? 25% waiting for the retest and another 25%. That is what I would like to do. But you know, maybe there's a chance that, you know, we come down to retest, you know, let's say we come down to 2,500, we bounce, right? I go in with 25% here, and there's a chance that we just go lower, right? And then I just go in with another 25% right there, right? But I think what's going to happen is we would retest the area again before coming up. And then I would like to have 50% at this level, 2,500 area, right? That is what I'm looking for. And if we successfully hold that level and we bounce up and we're ready to go for the next up cycle, hopefully, we'll see. There's no guarantees here, guys. And I'm absolutely not a financial advisor. But if we do confirm that level and we bounce up, then you know what? I'll be buying again on the way up. Potentially using my last percentages, 5%, 10%, for a leveraged position at the end, right? I might take a leveraged position at the end when I think we're coming up to break resistance, and when I think it's likely that we will break resistance. Use that last few percent, take a leveraged position, right? After I'm positioned, after I'm ready to go, not before, guys, right? All the way at the end when I'm like, okay, my capital's in the market, I feel good, looks like the price is stable, looks like we're coming back up. Let's take a leveraged position. Let's have a little gamble, right? That is what I think I'm going to do. Just, you know, why not, right? If I'm positioned, I'm good. Why not? So this is essentially what I would like. 50% at the 2,500 area, probably adding another, you know, 5, 10% on the way up, right? But we'll see, guys. This is not guaranteed to happen. We could actually break lower, and then we would have to, you know, scale in at lower prices, right? It could get really ugly. You don't know. We don't know. Of course, there's also the possibility that, you know, this thing just doesn't break below 3,100 ever, right? I mean, this is also possible now, right? That it looks like this. And at that point, if we're getting some good volume at 3,100 during these points, then we'll just go in at 3,100. And then it's, you know, I mean, then we're like super comfortable all year long, and there's almost like no worry. But I don't think it's going to be this simple. But who knows, guys? Who knows? Maybe the market makers are going to make it super boring. Maybe. We'll see. So I hope that explains better what my plan is here if we go to lower prices. I didn't really explain that second part, how I'm actually going to take two 25% positions at that level when we come back to retest it. I mean, we'll see. Not many questions yesterday, guys. We did start a Discord channel. So I'm going to start using that. You know, guys, feel free to talk amongst each other, share news, talk about ideas, just have discussions. Right? Don't argue, but have good discussions, right? Don't get offended, guys. If someone has a certain opinion about something, don't get offended, right? Just prove your point. That's all you got to do. Not that I saw that. I'm just saying, I'm assuming it's going to happen at some point. Yeah, cool, guys. I think that's about it right now. Yeah. All right, guys, so we'll see what happens here. Again, if you want to look at, you know, the beginning of this video, you know, I mean, there's not really that much volume here, right? It's not that impressive at all. We can easily just return back. I mean, could we break out again? Yeah, we'll be looking at some resistance at 37.80. And then, of course, resistance again at, you know, 39.70 and then 42.50 again, right? But we'll see. Again, if we break below 3,500, we'll most likely get a bounce off of 3,100, and then ultimately I would believe that we're falling lower. But we have to see what kind of volume comes in here at 3,100, if it's good or not, right? If it's not anything significant, or maybe it's very significant, right? We'll see what kind of levels come in. Yeah, guys, I think that's about it. I kind of rambled a little bit today, but ask questions, guys. Ask questions in the comment section or on Patreon or on the Discord, I mean. All right, guys. We'll see how this plays out. Again, we're kind of just stuck in this range. We're not breaking out yet, right? It's just nothing really, volumes below average. So we'll see. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.